Good evening, students. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and I hope that you all are happy and well in this emergency crisis of coronavirus. As you all know, that this epidemic has spreading day by day, rapidly spreading from one person to another person, and in this time of crisis, in this emergency time of lockdown, so you have to be take care about you and your family also. Okay, and all take the necessary and precautionary steps to avoid the circumstances of coronavirus 19. Okay, so let's hope for a better world, for a better future from the left of the legacy, from the left of the indelible mark on the history of India by this pandemic. Okay, so let's start our chapter which we had discussed yesterday, the nationalism in Europe. Okay, so as you all know, basically in the last lecture we had discussed about the emergence of nationalism, how nationalism has emerged by the middle classes, and how it had spread, how it had growth, how it had grew in the 19th century Europe, and how it spread from one country to another country, how it take by the rulers to the one country to another country, how it affect and how it create the condition for the new world. Okay, so let's take a recap of all the concepts and things which we had discussed earlier. Okay, so this chapter was started from the concept of nationalism. Okay, and nationalism as emerged from the term nation. Okay, then we will go further, studied about the four prints of we had studied about the four prints of the Frederick Sorio. Then we had studied about the concept of France, how France has emerged, and how nationalism has emerged in France, and how it set the example of France as the whole for the whole world, how the ideas of liberty, equality, fraternity emerged in France, and how it spread from France to the rest parts of the Europe. Okay, then we had studied about the French Revolution. After that we had studied about the French Revolution, economic liberalism, okay, political liberalism. Then we had studied all the things, rise of the middle class, okay, conservatives, Vienna Congress. Okay, so today we are starting our chapter from the topic of from the age of revolution 1830 to 1848. Okay, as you all know that France was the example from the revolution of from the concept of nationalism has emerged in all the parts of Europe. Okay, so basically in the years of 1830 and 1848, it was an era, it was an age when the whole countries faced certain and several revolution in their countries. Okay, and these revolution brought up by the educated and professional middle classes. Okay, so let's take the first example of the revolution of 1830 in France. Okay, basically as you all know, after the Vienna Congress has established certain norms for the new new order of the Europe, then basically as you all know that before the coming of before the Vienna Congress, all the person live under the democratic rule. Okay, so basically they had taste the democratic principles. Okay, they had taste the right of vote, they have taste the principle of right of vote, they had taste the principle of representation government. So they have fond of it, they are very liking the democracy principle, democratic idea. So in 1830, after the Vienna Congress had established, they introduced the monarchies in all the parts of the Europe, and after that these monarchies control the whole of the Europe. Okay, but after in 1830 there were certain changes in Europe which brought a new era and a new changes of revolution in Europe. Okay, first of all, let's take the example of France, where the Bourbon dynasty was disposed by the peoples of the France, and in spite of basically in place of Bourbon dynasty, Louis Philippe became the emperor of France. Okay, and under a constitutional monarchy. Okay, Louis Philippe became the emperor of France under a constitutional monarchy. So first of all, we have to understand the meaning of constitutional monarchy. Constitutional monarchy means the country which runs according to the rules and regulations of the constitution as well as the orders of the emperor. That is known as a constitutional monarchy. Okay, and France has emerged as a constitutional monarchy. Okay, in 1830s. Okay, so and 1830s were the years when very many issues brought up in Europe, from where the way of revolution has charged. Okay, the way of revolution has started. Okay, at that time population rises in Europe, the food prices rose up. Okay, the food supply halted. Okay, so many things were going on in European politics, and due to that the peoples of Europe were very frustrated by the policies and the principles or the acts and rules and regulation of the monarchical governments of the monarchies in Europe. Okay, so they want to take charge of the whole of the Europe. Okay, there were so many revolutionary and so many middle classes who took the charge to revolutionize the principle of liberty, equality, and fraternity in Europe. Okay, so they took the charge to all to spread the principles of liberty, equality, and fraternity. The first example where the revolution has emerged, revolution has come, that revolution has came, that is France, when Prince Philip took the charge of France in 1830 by the revolution of the revolutionaries. Okay, then we also take the example of Greece. Greece was a country. Then there was the effect of the French Revolution was also affected the nature of the Kingdom of Netherlands. Okay, Belgium was separated from the Kingdom of Netherlands by the nationalistic feelings. Okay, then we take the example of Greece. As you all know, Greece is the country which is known for its artistic architecture and philosophical works during the ancient times. Okay, the peoples of Greece at that time, Greece was under the Ottoman occupation. Ottoman Turks control the Greece. Okay, so basically all these countries and Greece is one of the country which is under the occupation of the Ottoman Turks. So in this country, due to the emergence of nationalism, basically the peoples have created the sentiments for nationalistic feelings and nationalistic identity, unique identity. They have self-seen that they are different from the Ottoman Turks, and they develop the feelings of Greek ideas and Greek liberty, Greek principles of the ancient era as well as medieval era. So they were starting to identify themselves as unique. Okay, and they have to started a movement against the Ottoman Turks occupation, and there were many peoples in Europe who were passionate about to independent the Greece from the Ottoman Turks. Okay, in Britain, Lord Byron was the poet who started to raising the funds for the Greek independence war. Okay, and he also fought for the Greeks and died in the war. Okay, so basically Greece was independent from the Treaty of Constantinople in 1832 by the Ottoman Turks occupations. Okay, so this was the second example of the revolution of the 1830. Okay, after that the situation of the whole Europe was changed day by day, increasingly rapidly, or day by day the situation of Europe had changed over the years from 1830 to 1848. This was the period of 18 years was the worst years for the monarchical governments of Europe. Okay, after that, now discuss about in 1848. In 1848 also the situation of Europe had created so many things due to which the monarchies can't control the government. Monarchies want to strengthen their government by introducing their own principles, but on the other hand the revolutionaries and the educated middle class wants to liberate the society from the evils of the monarchical governments. Okay, so they have to introduce changes in the whole of the Europe, so that they can create a better world for all the future generations. Okay, so in this time period of 1848, France again going through a new revolution by the who had started by a middle class. Okay, and in this revolution all the persons basically Louis Philippe Philip was disposed by the peoples, and France was become a republic in 1848, under which all the peoples of France gained the right of vote above the age of 21 years. Okay, but there is there is a contrasting factor in that the females of France could not get the right to vote till that date. Okay, so only the men of France above the age of 21 years got the right of vote, and they had made France into republic. The second example of the revolution of 1848 was Germany. Okay, basically, as you all know, Germany was not an empire till that date when nationalism emerged. Germany was divided into so many princely and so many states, so many small territories. So basically, the concept of nationalism has emerged in all over Europe. So it obviously it affects the territories of Germany also. So in 1848, there were certain changes in Europe by which Germany is also face the challenges and the situations due to which German states also the peoples of Germany also wants to establish democratic principle in their countries. In 1848, the educated middle class hold the Frankfurt Parliament in 1848 to enact the constitution, to frame the constitution. Basically, Frankfurt Parliament was formed in 18th May 1848, and on this parliament they had made constitution for the Germany. They drafted a constitution for the Germany so that Germany could become a democratic nation. Okay, and after that, when they framed the constitution and they said to the king of the Prussia, Frederick Wilhelm IV, to accept the demands of the liberal classes or the constitution and to act according to the constitution, the king of Prussia did not assent to the demands of the people. They called the king called the force to disperse the peoples of Frankfurt Parliament. After that, they lost the basically the peoples were dispersed by the army. Okay, in the Frankfurt Parliament, basically the peoples of Frankfurt Parliament were mainly the educated and the middle classes. They were not including the lower sections of the society. So that's why they lost the support of the poor people and the marginalized people of Germany. Okay, so that's why they had not succeed in forming a German nation. Okay, so that's why they were dispersed by the army they were dispersed by the army of the Prussian king. Okay, of Frederick Wilhelm IV. Okay, so basically they were not succeed in forming a nation in Germany. Okay, so after that, the concept of Silesia is emerged. Basically, there was a place in Europe. That place is known as Silesia. Okay, that place was where the peoples of the villages of Silesia were famous for their weaving. Okay, so basically at the times of 1848, as you all know, the prices of the food grains rose, and the unemployment level and the short supply of food also emerged. So due to that, all the weavers were suffered from that, and they face certain crises and certain things. So they have to act against the landlords of the Silesian villages. So basically all the peoples protested against the landlords or the basically who are the producers, so that they can create the conditions for their own convenience. Okay, in 1848, the villagers basically the landlords cut the basically, as you all know, in 1848 the short supply emerged, short supply of food, unemployment level rises in the country. Okay, and after that the producer from they take the order of supplies, order of weaving clothes. The producer cut the wages of the weavers. So that's why on 1848 they started a campaign. They started to protest against the producers. Okay, so in 1848 they started a protest movement. Okay, and they looted the grains, they looted the they burned the manorial dues. उन्होंने क्या किया, manorial dues को जलाया. Okay, the villagers are gathered and took the revenge from the producers. Okay, producers से उन्होंने revenge कैसे लिया? They had started a violent movement against the producers. Okay, and by the help of this protest movement or the violent movement they had started, they want to surrender the producers. But on the other hand, the producers started protest. Producer called out the army to disperse the protesters, and after that they had when they called the force shot upon the peoples, and 11 or 10 or 11 peoples were dead due to the shot. So that is known as, that was the incident of Silesia weavers. Okay, so that is very important in the concept of Europe. Okay, and there is a last one concept of this topic, that was the role of women in European history. Basically, as you all know, from the last year we had started about the French Revolution, and in French Revolution we had started about the role of women in French Revolution. Okay, basically the French women played a very important role in French history, in French Revolution. Okay, they started they formed the clubs to discuss and to debate the issues of the French Republic. They also published the newspaper. They also wrote the articles so that they also gain rights with equal to the men. Okay, and in Europe also they were also started the movement. They also started to wrote the article. They also started the certain campaigns to gain more rights and equal rights as men. Okay, but if we see the condition of women in Europe, then condition of women in Europe is very worst. Okay, in 1848, in the time of Frankfurt Parliament, they were also not invited as the members of the parliament. They were invited only in the visitors gallery to see the proceedings of the Frankfurt Parliament. Okay, but in condition of the women of Europe was not as good as we had predicted. Basically, they had protested, they had started campaigns to gain more rights as equal to men, and they had started to gain more political rights, more democratic rights, more freedom, more liberty, more equality. Okay, as equal to men. Okay, so basically the role of women in Europe was more, but they don't get any equal rights as men. Okay, as we know that women of France gained the right to vote in 1946, so much years later. Okay, so today is the basically this is the last topic of today. Tomorrow we will discuss the next concepts of nationalism in Germany, nationalism in Italy, and all the remaining concept of this chapter. I hope that you understand all the concept which I taught to you, and basically if you have any doubt and any query, then ask me in the comment section, and also comment me, also send me your doubts or queries. Okay, so thank you for watching me. Bye.